Hi, I thought I'd do a little bit of a video on how I found out that I was pregnant and what symptoms that I had when I found out. So let's start with how I found out. It started. So before anything else, we were driving one day and I was watching a video on Facebook, and it wasn't even really a gross video. I can't even remember what it was, but it wasn't a gross video or anything like that. And I was just watching it and I just got this wave of like nausea, and I just knew I was going to throw up. And of course I threw up in the car, and just out of the blue, out of nowhere, and that's kind of when I knew. Well, I didn't know, but that's when I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit odd. Like, why am I doing that? And then that was it. Didn't throw up again until later on down the track. But so I'd missed my period, so I hadn't got a period. But so I decided to book a doctor's appointment to, I guess, get it all checked out and stuff. And so they sent me off to get some blood work done. And the first round of blood work I'd done was inconclusive. So basically, I can't remember what the levels of your HCG are, but it was in the stage where it's not positive, but it's not negative either. It could be either or. It's literally 50-50, which was really, really stressful, because first we had to wait for that initial blood test to wait for it to come back, and then so if you're inconclusive, you've got to get another round of blood work done to rule out what it is, I guess, or rule out what it isn't, I suppose. So we had to get another round of blood work done. The doctor marked it urgent, but even so, I think we waited 2 days, and it felt like the longest 2 days of my life. Like, it's a little bit undescribable. It's crazy. Anyway, so we waited, and then I got a call from the doctor, and that was kind of when I knew deep down that's something that I probably was pregnant, just because here doctors don't normally call you unless there is something to talk about. So obviously there was, and when he called me up, he said, could you come into the doctor's surgery so I can talk to you and discuss your blood results further? So I was like, okay. I was trying to keep as calm as possible. I went with Josh, my partner, and we went in and waited for our appointment. For some reason I had to do it. I felt this weird, I don't know, I just felt like I had to do it myself, like go in by myself, and then Josh would wait in the waiting room, and then if it was positive, I'd call Josh in and he could say, it's annoying. And if it was positive, I would call Josh in so he could hear what he needs to hear, I guess. So I went in, sat down, and just the first thing the doctor says is, so your blood work indicates that you are pregnant, and you're at this level, which would make you this amount of weeks pregnant. And I think I would have been like 4 weeks pregnant, so it was really, really early, surprisingly. Because I wasn't really tracking or doing anything like that, so I don't know, nor was I even aware that this was happening. So I thought when this was to happen, it would be a lot later, because I wasn't in the headspace of pregnancy or anything like that, so I just wasn't attuned to it, I suppose. Anyway, so when I had that doctor's appointment, it came to about 4 weeks pregnant. So I said, okay, thanks for telling me, and then called Josh, and I was like, come on mate, like, let's get in, basically. And I called him in, and I remember seeing the look on his face, like, oh my gosh. Anyway, called him in, and the doctor spoke to us both, told us what happens, what options we have. So obviously you can kind of imagine the different pathways we kind of had to look into. And then we left, and I was like in the the doctor's room, his office. I was like laughing, because I laugh when I'm anxious or nervous. Any little bit of it, I will just laugh. I could laugh in a funeral, I could laugh in just anything. So I laughed, which probably looked really bad, but it wasn't. It was just pure nerves. And Josh was really good about it there, and then he was, he was good in the doctor's office. Anyway, we left, and guess we had a lot of discussing and stuff to do. So that's how I found out. So maybe I'll talk about my symptoms that I've had, or that I did have, because I am now, I'm actually now 15 weeks pregnant yesterday, so 15 weeks in one day. But the initial symptoms that I had were I had really, really, really bad morning sickness, and it was quite bad. But I'm lucky that it's worn off a lot. But initially, I found out at 4 weeks. I'm just trying to map it out in my head. That's all. I found out at 4 weeks. I managed to get a scan at 5 weeks, and when I had that scan, they could see the baby. They could see the sac, the yolk sac, whatever it is, and a heartbeat. So that was really cool to see at 5 weeks. And then, if I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm looking at myself. So sorry about that. But then what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so saw the heartbeat at about 5 weeks, and my symptoms weren't that bad then. It was just the usual sore boobs, and I had a bit of it was almost like period-like cramping, but it wasn't severe. I've had severe period cramps before. Nothing like that. It was just very dull, and I still get it now, and I've just been told that's everything expanding, stretching, growing, to make room for all the baby's development and growth later on. But I did have that at the start, and that was confusing as well, because it made me think that I was about to get my period, along with the sore boobs, because I got sore boobs right before my period as well. So it's not actually as easy as people think to kind of identify pregnancy. Anyway, I'm rambling on, but in regards to my symptoms, the vomiting wasn't bad then. It kind of got, I reckon it peaked at about 7, 8, 9 weeks. When it peaked then, I was having major food aversions, I think that's what it's called. I could barely eat anything. I just didn't want to, everything was just gross sounding to me. All my favourite foods, they just, I love a good Mexican bowl, and I did not want to eat any burrito bowls. I was just like, bleh. I kind of had to force myself to especially eat breakfast, because that's when it was really hard to keep down. I couldn't keep down my prenatal vitamins, anything like that. And that, when it peaked, why it was bad was because I was feeling nauseous morning, middle of the day, afternoon. I'd vomited at work. It was constant. Whereas now, it's not as bad. It's a lot better, and it's only really in the morning when I wake up on an empty stomach. So it's good that I'm not going to work and feeling like crap, because I can get a bit more done, and I have a bit more energy now. But yeah, so morning sickness was a major one for me, definitely. The next big symptom I would say that I got was tiredness. Now, I think every pregnant woman out there can probably put their hand up for tiredness. And it is a legit thing, and it's a serious thing. It wasn't actually as bad as I thought it, as I initially thought it would be at the start. It got a little bit worse maybe just before I hit my second trimester, so not even that long ago, and I still get tired, of course. But it would be so bad that I would go out for breakfast, or I'd do one tiny thing that wasn't even hard work or tiring really for a normal person, and I would get home and I would have to sleep the whole day, no word of a lie. I could not continue my day without a sleep. I actually went out for breakfast with a friend the other day, and it wasn't even that long ago, and I said to her, can we hang out again later? I have to go home for a sleep, because I honestly couldn't kind of carry on without staying awake. We went to the movies a couple of times. I just slept through the whole movies. Like, sleep is a massive thing. So I'm hoping, and I'm still quite tired, so I'm hoping that one wears off so I can get a bit more done, especially on my weekends. Like, I don't want to be sleeping for 70% of my weekend. You want to be out doing some cool stuff. So that was a major one. And another one that I can think of was headaches. Headaches was another one. That was more of an earlier on symptom. Nothing major, just, I don't know if anyone's ever gotten a headache before, where you stand up and you walk and you feel like your head pounding. It's almost like a dehydration headache, but it was kind of like that, and I still get them as well. So yeah, headaches is another one. Yeah, so headaches was one, but I think in regards to symptoms, I've been pretty lucky in the sense that the symptoms I have got have been pretty minor, besides the morning sickness at the start. They haven't been too bad for me, so I'm going to thank my lucky stars for that. But just while I think of it, I know a lot of people get moody and get really moody, and their mood changes a lot during pregnancy. So far, I mean, I'm not saying that it might not happen down the track, because it probably will, let's be honest, but so far I think that I'm more mellow being pregnant, which is really, really weird. Like, I found like I was way more moodier when I was like on my period, or even just randomly, I don't know. So I just feel a lot more calmer, a bit more content, at peace while being pregnant, which is the weirdest thing. I don't know, I never thought I would say that, but I do. So that's another thing. No moodiness there. Oh, maybe a little bit from time to time, but nothing major, and I think I've actually gotten better. And then the only other thing, I know it has to happen and stuff, but like, is weight gain. So in regards to that, I was pretty much fine up until about maybe 12 or 13 weeks. And literally the second I hit 12 to 13 weeks was when the weight came. Like, I put on maybe in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot for pregnancy, but I put on about 5 to 6 kilos already. And it was probably literally from, like I said, 12 weeks. So up until 12 weeks, I was pretty much fine. But, it just kind of hit from there, and I assume it's only going to kind of go up. And, I'm just going to try and make sure I maintain, like, somewhat of a healthy diet, not diet, but nutrition, like I'm including like all the right food groups and stuff, so, and just let it put on the weight that I need to put on. So that's that, and it is what it is. It's not, I can't lose, it doesn't mean I can't lose it eventually, it just has to happen for like a healthy pregnancy, I suppose. But I would say they're all like my notable main symptoms. I can't think of anything else really, so I might leave it at that, and thanks for watching. Bye.